Welcome to the unified field. Tonight is a legendary broadcast with one of the greatest UFO researchers of all time. Mr. Stanton T. Friedman. Yes, it's true. Tonight, it's the Stanton T. Friedman interview. The legendary Stanton T. Friedman. If you don't know who this guy is, crawl out from underneath your rock, because this is the Unified Field, Atlantic Canada's only paranormal radio broadcast, and this is one you don't want to miss. Yes, indeed. This is episode 5 officially of the Unified Field in terms of production value, and I had to do that cheesy introduction because it is such a grand entrance for such a grand individual here on the Unified Field tonight. Mr. Stanton T. Friedman, nuclear physicist and UFO researcher extraordinaire. He's been all over the world. He's lectured all over the world. He's made a ton of movies. He's written a ton of books. He's cracked open the head of the Roswell case. If you don't know who this guy is, I don't know what to tell you, folks. You've got to stick around here and listen because it is amazing. This is our Canadian scientific ambassador to the world about the UFO phenomenon. And, you know, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not saying we need an official disclosure anymore because we as people understand what's happening now and we don't need anyone to tell us what to know or what to think or how to live our lives because we can ascertain the information on our own these days. But, you know, disclosure would be nice for those who don't pay attention and have no idea of the double life that's actually happening all around us every single day. So without further ado, we're going to take a station identification break and come right back here for the legendary Stanton T. Friedman on an amazing episode of the Unified Field. One of the greatest researchers of all time. I'm glad you're with us. Stick around. This is Atlantic Canada's only paranormal radio broadcast at the Unified Field, and I am Mr. Justin Brown. See you on the flip side.
Do not touch your dial. Everything is nominal. You have been chosen to receive this transmission.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
Secure your position. You are now entering the Unified Field.
On clear nights, do you sometimes stare into the sky, wondering, what would radio be like out there in the stars? Well, listen to the Lost Cosmonauts every Monday night at 10:30 p.m. on CKDU 88.1 FM to find out. Each week, your hosts, Kirk Thompson and Zach Shave, bring you eclectic selections from throughout the musical universe. So, tune in this Monday for another exciting episode of The Lost Cosmonauts. Until then, live long and prosper.
Space is the place. Space is the place, yeah. Space is the place.
This is
Xena, warrior princess. I'm fighting the forces of evil right now. Hey-ya! But when I'm done, I'm heading for the Anchor Archive Zine Library. It's where I go to browse and borrow zines. Hi-ya! Or make new ones. I have many skills. The Anchor Archive Zine Library is in the Robert Street Social Center at 5684 Robert Street and open Tuesdays and Sundays. Check out their 3,000 zines or come to a cataloging party. Visit the Anchor Archive website at robertstreet.org.
I'm David Suzuki. The average lunch or dinner travels 2,400 kilometers to get to your table. Eating local means combating global warming. The future is on your table.
Eat your way to a healthier planet. Find out how at davidsuzuki.org.
Hello, this is Jose Gonzalez, and you're listening to CKDU on 98.1 from Halifax.
How low were you willing to go before you reach all your selfish goals?
You are listening to the Unified Field.
Darla, you never said you were unhappy or you feel crappy. Never said anything at all, but I know you know you're not living the good life. If I could, I'd pick, lock you free. You'd live with Jeff and me on Fairmount Street. That'd be neat.
Welcome back to the Unified Field. I'm Mr. Justin Brown. This song has been on a mixtape of mine for like over 10 years. My friend Jimmy, my great friend Jimmy in Australia right now, gave me this mixtape eons ago. Email me at unifiedfieldradio@gmail.com and tell me who this is, please.
I know that you weren't born for a pot pie, that you weren't born for the cage of life. And I know that you're off.
The best part is coming up here. You gotta wait for this, man. This is great. Check it out. You know what I mean? Real talk. Anyway, welcome back to the Unified Field. I'm your host, Mr. Justin Brown, your humble host here on Atlantic Canada's only paranormal radio broadcast, and I am extremely excited today on the show for Stanton T. Friedman is here. I want to get right to it, everybody. I can't waste any time. So without further ado, this is the Stanton T. Friedman interview. Enjoy it, everybody. First of all, I have to say I am so excited to be personally talking to you here today. You've been a huge hero of mine my entire life.
It shows you how old I am, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness, I'm not that old, so don't let it get to you. But seriously, you know what? I was just watching a documentary today that Stan Deo he re-released a digital version because I think he had the only analog copy of it. It was called UFOs Are Here. Do you remember that?
Vaguely. I met with Stan, yes.
You were a handsome young man in that video, I have to say.
Well, that was a long time ago.
Geez, you couldn't have been more than 25 or 27, it looked like.
No, I was older than that.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm 75 now, so it gives you some idea.
75 years young. So I'm reaching you here in your New Brunswick home. I just want to give a little bit of background to the listeners here for the Unified Field here in beautiful coastal Halifax, Nova Scotia, if you don't mind, Stan, before we begin.
Sure. Well, everybody down there knows all about Fredericton.
Yeah, that's right. Wonderful Fredericton. You know what? If people out in Radio Land don't understand or know who Stanton T. Friedman is, the Honorable Stanton T. Friedman, then you must have been living under a rock, because this guy is the daddy of ufology as far as I'm concerned, in cracking open the head of the Roswell crash story and spreading it all over the globe, so we can thank him for that. Nuclear physicist lecturer Stanton T. Friedman received his Bachelor of Science, and is it Master's in Science degrees?
Yes.
In physics from the University of Chicago in 1955 and 56. He was employed for 14 years as a nuclear physicist by such companies as GE, GM, Westinghouse, TRW Systems, Aerojet General Nucleonics, and McDonnell Douglas, working in such highly advanced, classified, eventually canceled programs as nuclear aircraft, fission and fusion rockets, and various compact nuclear power plants for space and terrestrial applications. He became interested in UFOs in 1958, and since 1967 has lectured about them at more than 600 colleges and 100 professional groups in 50 U.S. states, 9 Canadian provinces, and 16 other countries, in addition to various nuclear consulting efforts, and I'm sure far more than that by now. He's published more than 90 UFO papers and has appeared on hundreds of radio and TV programs, including on Larry King in 2007 and twice in 2008, and many documentaries, 2 of which I have on my library wall right now. He's the original civilian investigator of the Roswell incident and co-authored Crash at Corona, the definitive study of the Roswell incident. Top Secret Magic, his controversial book about the Majestic 12 group, established in 1947 to deal with alien technology, was published in 1996 and went through 6 printings. An expanded new edition was published in 2005. Stan was presented with a Lifetime UFO Achievement Award in Leeds, England in 2002 by UFO Magazine of the UK. Thank goodness for all your hard work. He is co-author with Kathleen Marden, Betty Hill's niece, of a book in 2007, Captured, the Betty and Barney Hill UFO Experience, which is a fascinating story. If all of you in Radioland have not heard of this, this really piqued my interest in the subject when I was a youngster. Look into it. It's a wonderful story. And scary, actually, but actually changed the times. It was the first story of its kind when that came out. So, Mr. Friedman actually had a Stanton Friedman Day declared in August 27 of 2007 in the city of wonderful Fredericton, New Brunswick. Isn't that awesome, Stan? I did not know that.
Yeah, I got a certificate on the wall from the City Council of Fredericton, and amazingly, a press release went out, and I was busy all day long. 17 different media people contacted me.
Wow.
My neighbor complained. The street, I live on a little closed crescent, and he was complaining, Stan, I can't get to my driveway.
Oh, well, congratulations on that. That's pretty honorable. You actually released a book in 2008 called Flying Saucers and Science, and it's in its 3rd printing as we speak, I'm sure. You've provided written testimony to congressional hearings, appeared twice at the UN, and been a pioneer in many aspects of ufology, including Roswell, Majestic 12, the Betty Hill Majori Fish Star map work, analysis of the Delphos, Kansas physical trace case, crash saucers, flying saucer technology, and challenges to SETI. Silly effort to investigate, as you say, cultists. He has spoken at more MUFON symposia than anyone else. Stanton Friedman, I want to welcome you to the Unified Field.
Well, I'm delighted to be on. I like speaking in the Maritimes. Means I don't have to drive so far.
That's right. Well, we're really pleased and privileged to have you here. There's so much to talk about with you today.
I should mention, incidentally, that there's going to be a new book out.
Yes, exactly. I was just about to get to that.
Okay, yeah. I'll let you get to it.
Sure. That's what I want to get to, was Science Was Wrong, the new book that you co-authored with Kathleen Marden, chronicling startling truths about cures, theories, and inventions they, quote-unquote, declared impossible, slated for release in June. But before we get to that, we briefly touched upon here in the intro of how you got involved in the ufology arena, but maybe you can explain to us in your own way how Mr. Stanton Friedman, nuclear physicist, local New Brunswick ufological legend, came to be involved in the incredible world of ufology.